Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, Not Good, Very Bad Day. No good. Okay. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day is a 2014 theatrical release about a boy named Alexander who wishes his family would understand what it's like to have a really bad day, and then they do. It is directed by Miguel Arteta, cinematography by Stacey, editing by Pamela Martin, music by Christoph Beck, and it's written by Rob Lieber, based off a book of the same name by Judith Viorst. Shall we compare? Alexander goes to bed with gum in his mouth and wakes up to find it in his hair. He trips on a skateboard, gets his sweater wet in the sink while it's running in the morning. He doesn't find a prize in his cereal box when his brothers do, and he doesn't get the window seat on the way to school. Alexander's project is met with disdain from his teacher. He gets reprimanded for singing too loudly, and he finds out his best friend thinks of him as his third best friend. His mom forgot to put dessert in his lunch. He finds out he has a cavity at the dentist. His brother pushes him into a mud puddle. His other brother calls him a crybaby for being upset about being in the mud puddle, and then his mom yells at him for being dirty. Alexander is forced to buy plain white sneakers. His dad doesn't want to get picked up because he's upset with his behavior. There's lima beans at dinner. His bath is too hot. There's soap in his eyes. His marble goes down the drain. He has to wear train pajamas. There's kissing on television. His nightlight burns out. His brother takes back a pillow he was given. He bites his tongue and the cat chooses to sleep with his brother. The end. All right, so that's the summary I had. And if that is exactly how the book goes, that's not like the movie at all. The movie, Alexander has a bad day, where a bunch of the stuff that listed here in the summary does happen, but then he wishes that his family would understand what it's like to have a bad day, and so then this big day where they all had a lot planned, so many things go wrong, and they all like start to have a crummy day, but then obviously they turn around and family and blah, blah, blah. So it's not similar at all, but I'm guessing maybe the book is different, and this is just like a summary of everything bad that happens to Alexander. I have no idea. The film stars Steve Carell as Ben, Jennifer Garner as Kelly, Ed Oxenbould as Alexander, Dylan Minnette as Anthony, and Kerris Dorsey as Emily. In 2011, 20th Century Fox had acquired the rights. Rob Lieber was on to write, and then a woman named Lisa Cholodenko was on to direct. In 2012, Steve Carell joined the cast. In October of 2012, Disney took over because 20th Century was getting uncomfortable with the budget. In February 2013, Cholodenko left and Miguel Arteta was brought on. April 2013, Garner was cast. July 2013, set a release date for October 2014, and Ed Oxenbould was cast. And then in July 2013, Bella Thorne was cast as the older brother's girlfriend. They started filming in August of 2013 and finished filming in October of 2013. This had a $28 million budget and made $100.6 million in the box office, which is not bad at all. That's pretty decent. It's got a 62% Rotten Tomatoes consensus. Affably pleasant without ever trying to be anything more, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day is a fine, albeit forgettable, family diversion. There had been a sequel planned, which is still set for future release. The current title is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip. So we'll see what comes from that. This is properly funny and very real. I think this is one of those movies that really portrays what a family is actually like. There are some scenes in this of like them in the car and them coming together that I think are so genuinely exactly how a family would be. Just the music moment with Bella Thorne's character in the car, I was like, oh my god, if this isn't a family, I don't know what is. And then there's some other moments that are just, they're so, I really think they captured the family dynamic. How families are, what they go through, how sometimes they tackle what they're going through. I think they did a really good job, and that really helped sell the movie for me. I think this was good. I think it's realistic. I also think it's a really like terrible, awful, so many bad things happen day without getting really sad. Does that make sense? Like, I was afraid that this movie was going to be a huge downer until it wasn't. But even in the like horrible thing happening, to each of them, it was still like upbeat. Does that make any sense? Like, it didn't get to a point where I was like, yo, I'm gonna cry. This is a lot of really bad stuff happening to them. I feel really bad. I want to cry for them. Like, oh my gosh. But it never felt like that. It was just like, this is a lot on all of their plates. I could totally see how this is overwhelming. But like, I'm not so overwhelmed either. I don't know how to explain it without it being like the movie was bad. I don't think the movie was bad at all. This was better than I expected. I have to say, freaking BioWare. Basically, Steve Carell's character has an interview at a game company because he's an aerospace engineer, and so he's been looking for a job. He's been out of a job for 7 months or whatever it is, and so he goes to this place and it's a bunch of younger guys all playing games and stuff, and they just want to interview him to see his ideas about development, and they want to do a space themed game, which is why they're kind of interested in him, because he has actual aerospace engineering experience. And when he walks in, there's some murals on the wall, and the very first one you can only see the corner, and I was like, Mass Effect? And my boyfriend Aubrey was like, I don't know. And then it cut, and it was a wider shot. It doesn't show any faces, but the body of the person on the wall is Miranda from Mass Effect 2 in her white outfit, so it is undeniably Miranda from Mass Effect 2. And so I was like, BioWare? And Aubrey goes, oh, yeah, like 100% that's Mass Effect. And I was like, what the heck? And then the interview goes on, freaking Donald Glover, hilarious. Really good. Not what I expected, super funny. And then I think everyone was the perfect choice, but I'll talk about that in a second here. Oh, and then the other thing I have to talk about. I think one of the funniest moments in this movie is when Jennifer Garner's character says she's seen every penis in the car. That is one of those moments where I was like, this is so real. Like, that is such a family moment, dude. And just Steve Carell backing her up and being like, yep. Yes, okay. It's really genuinely so funny. And I think it's that part alone just makes it so real and realistic as a family. And I loved it. I thought it was really fun. I think everybody's cast perfectly. I think that is the reason this is as good as it is. I think if they had cast anyone differently, it wouldn't have been as good of a dynamic, which is why I can forgive the fact that none of them look alike. Truly, none of them look like they could be family, except maybe Steve Carell and Dylan Minnette. The rest of them, no shot. Don't see it at all. But they do such a great job. I think Ed Oxenbould as Alexander, if he wasn't as good as he is and as believable as he is, this would, all the wind would be out of the sails. And then everyone else is just such a good, perfect ensemble on top of that. And then they all had really good chemistry as family as well. I think Steve Carell really helped sell a bunch of this. Same with Jen Garner. It was really perfectly cast. My favorite part is either the scene right after Anthony has failed his driver's test and they're all getting on each other, just because like there was some kind of comedic element to me with them being like, don't blame anyone else but yourself, but also, and then like they're all kind of arguing over each other, and like Steve Carell's going, you had to hit every parking meter. That just like really took me out. But then I also think another favorite scene would be when they accidentally hired Thunder from Down Under, and they have to tell Thunder from Down Under to do PG stuff because it's a birthday party for children, and they can't have strippers at a children's birthday party. Least favorite part, maybe Bella Thorne. Like, I'm glad he was like, no, you actually suck, but I feel like that was a little bit unnecessary, but like I get it for the story of the movie. Recommend? Yeah, I think I would recommend this. This was way better than I thought it was gonna be. I remember seeing a trailer for it way back when and being like, I don't really care, I'm uninterested. Doesn't seem that interesting to me. It's also a really bad title. So I was just kind of like, I'm good. And then I just never really thought about it. And I was pleasantly surprised. Would I watch it again? I think I would watch this again. Like, if someone wanted to watch this, or I just was like needing like a little family comfort movie that's low stakes, I think I would watch this again. Specific things. Jennifer freaking Coolidge is in this. She's the driving instructor. Oh, put the phone down! Dude, I laughed so hard. It was so good. And then she just doesn't sound like she sounds normal and not like her character Jennifer Coolidge. Dick Van Dyke is in this, which is wild. Love that they got a Dick Van Dyke poll. That was really fun. Honestly, this had like quite a bit of people crapping on it on Letterboxd. People were saying like, you know, it's super cringy, it's this, that, and the other, and I don't really see that at all. I think it's really heartfelt, and I think it's really realistic without being like so like overly cringe and unrealistic. The cringe that's there, for me at least, is the cringe that fully exists in a family, 100%. All right, that's everything I have. My final rating for this is a 7. Goodness, what should I do? Maybe I'll do something Australian themed because he loved Australia so much. So maybe 7 boomerangs out of 10 are total movie comments. Paradise and Crack Count are still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials to find out what movie I'm watching when. I put up videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon. I got a tier starting at just $1 where you get every video a week early and a coupon code for merch. And exclusive merch access. Tiers above that, you get daily trivia, you can get monthly postcards, you get your name in the description of every video, you could get bonus content, you could get free merch every time there's a new merch design with my autograph on it, and buy merch. Merch is great, merch is grand. This one's super comfy, and I like how it looks. It's the long sleeve sweater. Super warm, soft, and nice. Until next time, comment, like, and subscribe, but I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so do you, and don't be maybe, Bella Thorne's character about it. She was kind of awful. That's everything. Huzzah. Huzzah.